What's up, everyone? It's your girl Ketchy, and I'm coming to you with a new video series called Why This Comedy Set Works. In this video series, I will be pulling stand-up comedy videos from across the internet and dissecting them to tell you what I loved about it, why the jokes land, and what the comedian did right in their set. I decided to start this video series because I love stand-up comedy and I love talking about stand-up comedy. I also wanted to give some flowers to comedians that are not necessarily household names, but they are killing it on the scene because there are so many out there. There's not just like the top 5 that you hear of every single day. There are so many amazing comedians that I would like to be able to highlight and give flowers to. Before we get started on this video series, I do want to stress that comedy is subjective. So things that I find hilarious and I think are funny, you may hate and not understand. And the same with you. There's things that you might find hilarious and I'm just like, I don't get it. And that's completely okay. So how about we come up with a deal? If you agree with what I say, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. If you don't agree with what I say, go ahead and tell me in the comment section what you feel about the stand-up comedy set, and we can come to either agreement or we can agree to disagree. Either way, everyone has their voice heard and we are all good in the hood. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started with our first video. So the first video that I would like to dissect is from a comedian named Rae Sanni. Now, I saw this particular clip a year ago on Instagram, and ever since then, I've been completely obsessed with her. She is actually a stand-up comedian and a writer, and she's actually written for the Black Lady Sketch Show, so it means that she's a pretty cool person. But this clip really spoke to me, and I just liked her vibe, and you know what? Instead of me just talking about her, let's just go ahead and play the clip, and I'm going to be pausing in the places where I just want to talk about what she is doing so right in this particular stand-up set.
I'm a terrible person who loves reality television.
Yes, I'm already pausing because she immediately piqued my interest by calling herself a horrible person for the simple activity of indulging in reality television. And it connects with me because a lot of the times when I watch reality TV, I feel shamed because it's called trash TV. We have no business watching it. But nevertheless, a lot of us do watch it, and we are not horrible people for watching it, but it's nice to feel and hear the acknowledgement that, okay, horrible people watch reality television, even though like she's being sarcastic. Anyway, let's continue.
I love it. I love it so much. And I love VH1 reality TV shows. They're a very simple formula. You get 6 terrible women in a room being terrible to each other. Often they are black because black women are funny. And
Okay, I like this for 2 reasons. First, I liked how she summarized what a housewife reality show is like. It is 6 people getting together and being completely horrible to each other. She is not lying there at all. Secondly, I like the fact that she acknowledged that black women are entertaining as hell. It's funny because we are looked to for entertainment, but at the same time, we're not acknowledged for our skills, and that gets frustrating at times, especially in the comedy community. But that's a whole other Pandora's box.
so my friend's like, how can you watch this show? It makes black women look terrible. I'm like, nah, it makes those black women look terrible. I look fantastic. I'm on the couch drinking my drink. I ain't throwing it at anybody. That was Evelyn. I look amazing.
The first time I heard that line, I became an instant fan of Rae because with that simple line, she basically summed up my feelings about the representation of black women in media. Oftentimes when we see a Black woman behaving badly on screen, the first thing that people say is, oh my gosh, I can't believe she did that. It reflects badly on Black women. And it's like, nah, it should reflect badly on that particular person that's on the TV screen, not us. We're just here living our life and minding our own business. Leave us alone. And I just love that she said it just so simply because it's so true.
My homie was like, okay, all right, it makes Black women look terrible. You cool with it, but doesn't it bother you? These women are on TV because they use their bodies to get money from athletes. Doesn't that bother you? Why would that bother me? Men get so mad at women for getting by on their looks, like it's not men letting women get by on their looks.
My goodness me, why is Rae preaching on today? First off, I gotta say that I loved the way she delivered the line with a smile. It was so smooth, and then she kind of smacked us with some truth. It was perfection. Also, she brings up a very fantastic point in that a lot of the times these Instagram quote unquote thoughts and influencers that get by on their looks and they make a living off their looks, the only reason why they're able to do that is because there are people, men and women, that encourage it and basically support their style of living. Why should we be upset at this? And once again, why is this any of our business? It's not.
It's not me doing it. I've never given a pretty bitch anything. Not a homework help, not a pencil case, not a cake recipe. Evelyn's on TV because you like titties. It has nothing to do with me.
Oh, I appreciate this so much because once again, she is telling some truths that I that I appreciate. This is something that I have not been able to articulate myself, but I thought for a long time. Like I'm just like, I am not the one that are giving these pretty women anything. I'm not doing it. But at the same time, they're always in my face because people are always talking about them, especially men that want that attention from these particular women. Right now I'm thinking about like the Instagram influencers, like the fitness model types, if you will. And someone that comes to my brain a lot is Brittany Renner. Like she's definitely a hot topic right now. She's been bagging these basketball players. She has a baby by one and she secured, quote unquote, the bag. And a lot of men are salty about it. They are so mad. But at the same time, it was not our doing. It was the men's doing for giving this Brittany woman so much attention. It's not our fault. We're just sitting here on the sideline minding our own business.
Men get so mad at women for things men do. It's crazy. Like, men get mad at women for misandry. Oh, you hate men? Hating men wasn't my idea. That's your idea. The first person to tell me to stay away from niggas was my daddy. He was like, stay away from boys. Why? Because y'all nice?
Once again, Rae hits the nail on the head. Like she tackles the subject of misandry and she's just like, hey, the reason why I hate men is because you told me to hate them. And she once again hits like a truth in my spirit because the first person to tell me to stay away from men was, of course, my father. And I know that is probably the truth for a lot of women out there. So once again, kudos to Rae for this.
Get the fuck out of here. Listen. The first murder was a man killing a man. Okay? Eve brought the downfall of humanity.
I'm going to admit, I do think that she is probably drunk in this video. That's what she is displaying. But at the same time, I'm still loving and catching her vibe. But I do want to acknowledge that I do think that she's had a little drinky drink in this set. Not that I'm mad, but I did want to acknowledge it.
Literally, she ate the apple and paradise was lost. And Adam was like, all right, could work with this. Cain saw his nigga Abel, was like, nah, this nigga gotta go. Because men are terrible.
You guys, I am a sucker for someone that uses biblical stories to get their point across in present times. Like, I love it when people remix the story a little and jazz it up to make it apply to today's lessons and today's times. Like, I'm always a sucker for this. So I really enjoyed the fact that she used the story of Cain and Abel to get her point across for her reasons for not liking men today.
I'm a millennial. They make us so embarrassed about it. It's always some baby boomer like, oh, my daddy used to punch me in the chest if I smiled. Okay. I'm sorry, my mom traveled all the way from Africa to America to raise me in an environment where I'm, happy.
I'm always a fan of jokes about generations versus other generations. I'm always intrigued to hear about those types of things. And I like the fact that she went ahead and said, hey, there's a lot of salty boomers that are upset at the fact that people evolve in the way that they raise people, that, it doesn't become as, serious and like, you don't need your kids to suffer in order for them to have a good life. Like, it's okay for people to set up good situations for their kids. It's just okay. Like, this is nothing to be ashamed of. Okay, let's continue.
I'm sorry, my parents figured out that child abuse is not a way to rear children. That's ridiculous. But it's always the same complaint. It's always some baby boomer like, oh, yeah, oh. The Kardashians and avocado toast. I'm like, good. Avocado toast sounds like a baby boomer problem, actually. It sounds like things rich people can do, like home ownership and moral outrage at athletes. That's a you problem.
This is very interesting because I feel like Rae is pointing out a few layers of like an argument. First, boomers, they do like to come down on younger generations for not being like them, tough like them, and all that stuff. But at the same time, younger generations are struggling with simple things that boomers had an easier time attaining, like home ownership and steady careers and things of that nature. But nevertheless, that's another whole Pandora's box that we don't need to get to today.
I don't know. We can't be the worst that America's ever done. We can't be. Because we used to own people. Women couldn't vote. If you was broke, you could send your little baby to work in a coal mine, and they come back home with a little black lung, little baby infant black lung.
Now, if she is truly drunk in this set, I feel like she is using it to her advantage, because the way that she's talking about the bad things that's happened throughout American history, from, of course, slavery to going to something random as like a child getting black lung. Like, if she has like this drunk persona, like the audience is going to stay with her because they're just like, oh my gosh, she's saying random things. She's so crazy. Either way, it works.
So maybe me buying Kim Kardashian's book of selfies is the best humanity's ever been.
My goodness, I was riding with Rae until she said this. Like, really? You bought Kim Kardashian's book? Like, for why? Like, you said yourself you haven't given a pretty girl anything, and here you go, giving her money for her selfies. Child. I will say this, she is standing her truth, and I can't get mad at her for that, but still, giving her the side eye.
Maybe be a little nicer.
Once again, this sounds like a declaration from a drunk person. And in this case, it works because I feel like the audience is riding with her because of it.
I grew up in a neighborhood in Brooklyn called East New York. Have you guys heard of it? You've heard of East New York? Have any of y'all been to East New York? You've been to East New York? You from, well, you ain't from East New York, my nigga. What are you talking about? Oh, okay, I'm from a different dangerous neighborhood. Okay, nigga, I would have to take a train to my murder in your neighborhood.
So right here, Rae is displaying a comedic skill that I am so envious of, and that is the skill of crowd work. She was able to play off and make funny something that an audience member had said. Like, I personally can't do that right now, so whenever I see it done well, I always have to be like, yes, you better do that crowd work. I'm working on it, but right now, let's just appreciate what Sunny Rae did. No, it's Rae Sanni. I don't even know why I called her Sunny Rae, but it happened. Anyway, let's continue.
Not a lot of people have heard of East New York, so I had to Wikipedia it just to let my friends know who I am deep inside. Okay, these are the celebrities that come from East New York. You ready? All right. Henry Hill from Goodfellas. Okay. So now we got two rappers, AZ, not Jay-Z, AZ. And Uncle Murder. Uncle Murder! This guy is the brother of the mother of murder! That's how I
I had no idea where she was going with that, but I loved how she took it, how she put the play on the word uncle. Like, I felt that was genius. That was good stuff. I'm a fan. I'm just a fan. That's the end of that set. I gotta say, I think the reason why I wanted to start with this particular video is because it is one that resonated with me so hard. And I think I resonated with this particular set because I identified with a lot of things that Rae was saying as a Black woman. And so, of course, it's going to be something that I'm drawn to as a Black woman myself. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to leave the full set in a link down below so you can watch it for yourself. And I would love if you have any opinions about what Rae did. If you can leave it in the comment section down below, I'd appreciate it. And if you liked this stand-up set, go ahead and follow Rae. I'm going to leave her Instagram and her Twitter down below so you can follow her and show her love. With that being said, thank you so much for listening to what I was saying. It was a lot of babble, but I hope you enjoyed it. And once again, if you enjoyed what you have heard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have any video suggestions, go ahead and leave them down below. I'd be more than happy to take them. With that being said, I hope you guys are doing fantastic and you love comedy. I hope you do that. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.